Hello, my name's Tom Seawood. I'm the president of Pacific Balance Marine Management. It started out as a First Nations group in 2018, and it's all about trying to work with the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans Canada, aka DFO, to get a redeveloped seal and sea lion harvesting industry throughout coastal British Columbia. We used to have the bounty for noses, $5 for seals, $8 for sea lion, and it worked so good we almost made them extinct. But they put in the North American Marine Mammal Protection Act in the early 1970s, and it protected the pinnipeds, the seals and sea lions, but it protected them too good. And because there's very few First Nations that are harvesting for food, social, ceremonial purposes, their numbers have exploded. We're seeing the negative ramifications of an overpopulation of seals and sea lions. It's called DFO stupidity. The reason? Well, they're trying to shut down sports fishermen in southwestern and southern Vancouver Island, British Columbia, all to protect the southern resident killer whales. What a crock. The first thing they need to do is license the First Nations so they can sell the seals and sea lions they harvest, and we'll go take care of the problem because we can redevelop the pinniped industry. And if not, treat them like coyotes, deer, and black bears. Give everyone in British Columbia the opportunity to buy a tag for $50 to $100 for a seal, $250 to $500 for a sea lion, and let us deal with the problem and harvest the seals and sea lions. And in turn, it will increase the numbers of salmon, Chinook mainly for the southern resident killer whales, and other species. So DFO, they have to pull their head out of their back end and do what is right. And because, as you see with my jarred sockeye salmon under food, social, ceremonial purposes, we try to do this every year. And my jars say December or August 2025. In December, we did some last week out of the freezer. But what I'm getting at is the people that aren't First Nations, that rely upon sports fishing for their food, for their recreation, to pass on their culture to their younger generations, their grandkids, their children, so that they too can catch salmon, sports fishing, jar it, freeze it, smoke it, make jerky. Well, that's Canadian culture and heritage, because a lot of people just look at us First Nations as the ones that should have that right. No, every Canadian, every British Columbia resident needs it. And that's why we have to fight so hard to ensure that the Federal Department of Fisheries and Oceans pulls their head out of their back end and does what is right. Get the harvest the seals and sea lions going so that we can really protect our finfish stocks and the southern resident killer whales. But of course, it's going to be a fight. And that's why Pacific Balance Marine Management, which was a First Nations group, reached out to the non-First Nations, the sports fishermen, the commercial fishermen of British Columbia that aren't First Nation, and it spread across borders into the United States, Alaska. I live in Washington State working when I'm not on Vancouver Island, and it is a cause now, a campaign that we all must support. Support one another, cooperate, and force DFO to do what's proper. And that is to get a seal and sea lion harvest. Pacific Balance Marine Management, go to our Facebook group. I thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you at the Town Hall meeting in January on Vancouver Island and Duncan.